Hello everybody, I am Raven Shadow and welcome in Rome OG Total War to the Seleucid Empire. They're supposedly one of the hardest starts in the game. Personally, I find them much easier than Carthage. And this river crossing is why. Because Egypt sees an army of 3 units camped out on this bridge and is like, oh, I have to attack that. So they send all these armies at it. Now, that's the theory. I've been playing all day because Total War is Total War and the old games used to be really good, so things didn't work out quite how I expected them to. However, finally, Egypt has gone for the bait that I was able to put back out here. Usually, what I do this with is a general and 2 militia hoplite units as early in the game as possible, because Egypt usually declares war on the Seleucids like turn 3, 4, really early. And if they're focused on taking the bridge over the Jordan, then they're not sending those armies north to attack Damascus and Antioch. In this campaign, they have attacked Damascus and Antioch. In fact, every one of my cities has been under attack, and I've basically had to use the town square for infinite morale. And, yeah, that's gotten me this far. I'm beginning to feel like the original point of this video is maybe not so... that maybe it might be a little bit pointless, actually. But, they have finally gone for it, and if this doesn't work out, well, I just won't upload it, and you'll never know. Haha, the real meta. So, let's jump into the battle and see what I'm talking about. Okay. This guy is our general. We want him to be away from the incoming troops. But we're going to set up in a vaginal formation. And... like that. There we go. And then these guys are going to stand here. And actually, the general is not in their unit, so they can stand a little further back even. Start the battle. And Egypt is... well, first of all, we're not on a time limit, but they'll still come for us eventually. And I believe their general is with the chariots, yes, so as long as they're not chariot archers, which they are not, in order to get through the vagina, they have to go through the vagina. And you could so easily have flanked us, but you never do. Ever. I've never had that happen. The thing about the Jordan River is that it is very broad, at least in Rome Total War, which means that their missile troops are not able to reach us across it. So yes, an army of 3 units, in theory, can just keep on eating army after army, full stack after full stack of early tier Egyptian troops, and as long as they're throwing their whole economy into that, they'll never be able to recruit anything better. In this case, they do have some Nile spearmen, some chariots, some cavalry. In past campaigns of mine, there have been situations where they were just sending huge stacks of nothing but Nubian spearmen, because they couldn't afford to do anything else because they kept doing this. And again, that was with militia hoplites. These are levy pikemen. Troops break in OG Rome very easily, or at least militia tier troops do. So the nifty thing about this is that as soon as the enemy engages in melee, they're automatically flanked, because if they hit this one, then this one flanks, and if they hit this one, then this one flanks. Into the jaws of death. Your entire army, funneled into a meat grinder. It's insane. I have no idea how high the quality of this video looks, I have figured out that what I need to do is just deal with it being super squished while I'm playing and then stretch it in hit film during the editing phase. Those at the back cry, "Forward, forward!" Those at the front cry, "Back, back!" This kind of works in Medieval 2, but you need more troops, as I understand it. Also, pikes, like unmodded pikes in Medieval 2, suck balls. They put the spear in their pocket and go to their knife. Pathing in Rome 1. This is the game that redefined gaming, but it's also really old. And I don't think they fixed the pathing problems in the remaster. There he goes. I would love to play the remaster, but my PC can't handle it. Any second now we should be getting a chain route. A lot of them are routing, but not all of them yet. Well, nothing for it but to wait. It'll be fine, everything will be okay. For us, not for Egypt. Oh no, they are squeaking around here. That is not good. Okay, they're broken. Any second now they should all be breaking. Those designated as pikemen have a slightly longer spear than those designated as hoplites or spearmen. And that, in fact, actually matters. It does still work with militia hoplites, though. Yeah, come on, my pretties. And the formation moves. Like, it inches a little bit one direction or the other, and at the start of the battle it's not that big a deal, but by the end they can shift to a notably less viable position, and then you have to shout, "Reform the vagina!" Yeah, when this clump here dips its toes into the meat grinder, that should be the end of them, for practical purposes. And then we run them down with the cavalry. If they get into the position and they're not routing, then we could run our own cavalry around and use the flanking path that the AI never does. But they probably won't. Oh, more chariots! For all that's worth. A pike touches a chariot and it goes down. The chariot is gonna rout into the phalanx. Maybe. Here we go. Route. Come on, chain route. Everybody else is doing it, just go. Stand by. It won't be long now. There we go. And now we chase them through the funnel. Okay. We win. Run them all down. There. And we still have most of our army left. This isn't even cheese. It falls perfectly well within the boundaries of how the game is supposed to be played. It's just using the morale mechanic, you know, the central mechanic to the battles in this game, the way that it's supposed to be used. We scare the shit out of them, we chew them from both sides, we flank them. If you know how to do this, the Seleucid Empire is not a difficult start. Now granted, it is in a pretty precarious position, surrounded by potential enemies, and you are going to have to get used to doing stuff like this, except with the town square for infinite morale. But it absolutely can be done, and then you can sneak out and grab little outlying settlements. And if you get a good economy going, then you can bribe settlements, especially rebel settlements. If you try to fight Egypt in the open field, yeah, they will steamroll you. But baiting them onto the Jordan River with a tiny little force and getting good at defending your settlements absolutely will trash them. It will trash all your enemies. I still have not figured Carthage out, but the Seleucids, I've got down. This basically is identical to what Leonidas did at Thermopylae, except that Leonidas was using elite troops, his personal bodyguard, and these are militia and levy, and also Leonidas lost his battle. And this battlefield at least used to be the cornerstone of how I handled it. Like I said, this time was a little different, but I got here eventually. Hope you liked the video. Stay safe out there, friends. Play well.